Hey everyone, it's Bakutech back again with another Bakugan Bakutech review. Today we're going to be taking a look at Sextavanol. Now I have taken a look at Sextavanol several times on this channel, but I feel like I've never actually given it the spotlight it deserves, considering it is one of the most iconic and most important Bakutech Bakugan. So we're going to be taking another look at it today. Now, almost every version of Sextavanol was a prize Bakugan. The one you're seeing right here is the most accurate version to the anime, and it is the prize version you would get from completing the gold stage. However, you would not get it like this. The version you would get would be more like this, with white plastic cross and soul. And in order to get the metal cross and soul, you would have to get different Bakutech products. So the Pyrus cross part would come from the Rise deck or the Hollow deck. The Subterra cross part would come from Kachia Gel. The Darkest Soul part, I believe that came from Buddha Gel. The Chaos Soul part came from the Shield deck. I believe this is the Wind Soul part. That one came from the Wind deck. And the Aquas Soul part came from Trifalco. So, yeah, that's how you would get each of the metal parts for Sextavanol. Now, I like to think of Sextavanol as kind of like the Arceus of Bakugan, not just because of the white and gold color scheme, but also because it can come in any attribute. When you got this out of the box, there would be a sticker sheet, and you could choose which attribute you would like on it. For example, this one, I did not pick this attribute, nor did I apply this sticker so poorly. It just came like that, but as you can see, whoever owned this one previously chose Subterra for it, for some ungodly reason. So yeah, you could pick any attribute for this guy, and that was a big deal, because you could build this for pretty much any deck. Of course, the most popular attributes were Pyrus and Darkest. Darkest because it's, well, the best attribute, and Pyrus because it's the best attribute for attack Bakugan. And of course, with all the cross and soul in this guy, he is very heavy and a very good attack Bakugan. On top of this one, also being able to have any attribute, there are also 6 other versions released later on that all had a different printed attribute. Some of these would have been pretty much the same, like Pyrus, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I should mention this one has 640 Gs and only 640 Gs. The first promo one would only have that many. But yeah, these later ones that came out, it would mostly be the same. Most of them had 640 Gs, but some of them, like this Darkest one, I think, yeah, they have 660 Gs. There's also the Chimera Sextavanol, which had 640 Gs as well, but you could pick any attribute, so it's pretty much just like the regular one. Later on, Sextavanol would get another release, that being Rainbow Sextavanol, with 700 Gs, but it was still considered worse than the limited edition ones because that one was locked to Chaos, so losing a bit of G power for a better attribute was definitely worth the trade-off. Unsurprisingly, Sextavanol was a huge Bakugan in the meta. Its 4 soul parts and 2 cross parts made it one of the heaviest Bakugan in the game, if not the heaviest Bakugan in the game, at the time, and even though it was released alongside a huge wave of very strong attack types, being Rise Dragon, Kachiagel, Budagil, and Windmill, he still managed to stay at the top of the food chain for attack types, and that is very impressive considering that how competitive that slot for your deck had become. It was very hard to be a good attacker during that time. Sextavanol would see even more competition for the attack slot later on with its introduction of its counterpart, Sextavanol. However, Sextavanol still had an edge over Sextavanol because even though Sextavanol had a higher G power at 700, Sextavanol had every attribute. So even then, Sextavanol managed to be one of the top attacking Bakugan. Sextavanol only really became outclassed with the introduction of Bakutech Season 2, the Gacha Bakugan, or Gachi, not Gacha, but with the introduction of Bakugan like Sanju Hollow Boss, which was even heavier, or Gogaryu, which was a crazy attacker, and Jigen Dragon, which could fill the role of attacker and defense. Only then did Sextavanol ever really become outclassed, but the fact that it held one of the top spots as one of the best attackers when there was a ton of really good attackers is super cool, and really goes to show just how strong this Bakugan was. Nowadays, Sextavanol is one of the most sought after Bakutech Bakugan. Its limited edition status back in the day just adds to its rarity now, and even though there's a ton of different versions, they're all pretty tricky to get your hands on. There have been a lot more listings on eBay in the past few years. This guy used to be completely ridiculous to get your hands on, but you shouldn't have like too much trouble now. But he will be pretty expensive. So yeah, that's about it for my video on Sextavanol to kick off the new year. I guess that's kind of a trend since I looked at all these guys around Christmas 2 years ago. So yeah, I guess we'll make New Year's a Sextavanol trend. Anyhow, that's about it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.